Hello, everyone. If you hear a bunch of banging in the background, that's just I'm at work right now, and unfortunately, I work in manufacturing, so there's a lot of noise in the background. If that is in the video, I can't do anything about it. But I wanted to make a quick video about Mgtow and what Mgtow means and what it is. Razorblade Candy made an interesting comment, and this comment I've seen floating around, the same kind of sentiment I've seen floating around throughout the manosphere in Mgtow circles. But I think it's time that we do away with this idea that Mgtow is whatever it is you want it to be, no matter how contrary to the general consensus of what Mgtow is. It's not whatever it is you want it to be. It's never been whatever it is you want it to be. And the reason I say that is because, well, as an example, I'll use, if you remember, the Dear Woman video, right? And these were a bunch of men that made a video titled Dear Woman. I can't put that in the description box because I'm at work, but most of you guys have already seen it, I'm sure, and if not, it's very easy to find. But these people were a bunch of men who made a video using a bunch of newfangled New Age rhetoric, talking about co-creation instead of procreation, and essentially it boiled down to a 5, 8, 10 minute, however long it was, worship fest of women. And it was talking about it was apologetic, profusely apologetic, embarrassingly so, to the female gender, full of the wrongs that mankind did to women. And it was talking about how they want to move forward into the future with a different understanding of how the genders interact with one another. And of course, Mgtow want to do this as well. A lot of people say that Mgtow is anti-women, but in fact, if you look at many of my videos, perhaps you could check out my Powered by Orgasm series. If you look at many of my videos, I talk in depth about how the genders, men and women, have to start looking at each other in different ways and expecting different things from each other, moving forward into the future so that our species can progress and develop and mature. And, so men going their own way talk about this all the time, about how men and women need to start looking at each other in different terms. Excuse me, there's a car passing by. Let it go past. Okay, it's gone. Well, these people were, the Dear Woman video makers were so embarrassingly apologetic to female kind, if you will, that really no men going their own way is going to look at them and say, these are men going their own way, even though these are men redefining masculinity on their own terms, right? So, yes, there are some general rule sets that have to be taken into account, general customs, traditions around Mgtow that have to be taken into account. Sure, technically these guys are redefining masculinity on their own terms. It just so happens that their own terms are consist of a brainwashing of sorts, where these people, these men have been taught to supplicate to women, to take all of the blame for previous wrongs on themselves, and not look at the female gender with any sort of accountability, right? But this is still their very own unique definition of what manhood is. Surely we wouldn't call these people, which are some type of feminists, we wouldn't call them Mgtow, right? So I think it's important in the future that we start really defining what Mgtow is. So let it coalesce. There's nothing wrong with that. Let it coalesce into something real and tangible, and not this kind of wishy-washy, whatever it is you want it to be. Whenever you inject relativism into things like this, it kind of gets diluted to the point where it doesn't actually mean anything. And, if we allow that to happen, all of the work that we've done will be for naught. So, I don't know. Any thoughts on that? People can leave that in the comments section. I want to strike up a conversation on these issues. Thanks for listening.